Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to a brand new match preview. And it's been a couple of weeks since we've been able to say that. The international break is officially over and Wolves are back in Premier League action this weekend. And it's a great way to kick off the return of Premier League football with a visit from Aston Villa. Just one place between us and Villa at the moment. It's going to be a really tough game. A team obviously under new management this season and doing quite well. But we'll hear more about Villa later on in the video. We're going to be talking about the latest team news and so on as well. But before we kick off, guys, as always, be sure to go and check out our channel partners over at Betmate. Now, to kick off the return of Premier League football, this week's Betmate game is free to join. It's free to enter. So, guys, please get involved. The app has been fantastic. We've had some real fun with it over the last couple of months or so. So I'll make sure I leave a link in the top of the description if you want to get involved. This game is exclusive for Talking Wolves subscribers and followers only. So you can join our private pot with the code TALKWOL. So TALKWOL for this game by downloading the app and joining a private pot or by simply clicking the link in the description. Very quickly, this is my provisional team. I always like to change a team very close to the deadline. You can even change a team when the lineups are out. So I've gone with Jose Sarr, Johnny, Digne, Coutinho, Pedence, Watkins and Fabio Silva. But guys, please do get involved. I'm sure you're all going to finish a lot higher than I am because I'm not very good at the game. But yeah, as always, guys, Betmate, be a gamble aware, 18 plus and UK residents only. But Aston Villa coming to Molineux Stadium. It's going to be a tricky game, guys. You know, they're a good team. We have got a 10-point cushion on them. They do have a game in hand, to be fair. And after that loss against Leeds, I've sort of managed to get it out my head now. But after that loss against Leeds, if we had won that game, we would be sat right now in 7th place. But that's obviously not the case. So we've got to try and get back to winning ways. If Wolves are serious or want to try and still push for Europe, these are the sort of games that are going to be tough, but are still winnable football matches. We've got some tough games. We've still got to play the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City. But then on the flip side, we still have to play the likes of Norwich City, you know, a couple of teams, Newcastle United, a couple of the teams down there, you know, Burnley. So there's winnable games in there for Wolverhampton Wanderers, but Villa is going to be a tough game. They've got some top players. You've already seen the pull that Steven Gerrard has. So not just for this season, I think in future seasons, whilst he's at Aston Villa, he's going to have this reputation that he's going to be able to bring in some top players, like we've seen with Coutinho recently. But in regards to Wolves, it's going to be a very intriguing lineup that Bruno Lage goes with. We'll have official confirmation of the latest team news tomorrow when Bruno Lage's press conference comes out. So be sure to be following us on the socials to get an update on those. But as far as we know, obviously Raul Jimenez is suspended. That controversial red card against Leeds United is obviously still going to stand. So he's going to be banned for at least the Villa game, possibly even the Newcastle United game. I'm not 100% sure if it's a 1 or 2 game ban. So possibly up to the Newcastle game, which obviously gives a huge opportunity if Bruno goes with Fabio Silva. We saw a few weeks ago, it was against Palace, wasn't it, when he opted to go with Hwang, Neto and Pedence. I would be surprised to see if he goes with that again, but we don't know. In regards to other injuries, of course, Ruben Neves is now going to be out until at the earliest early May. We may not even see him again in a Wolves shirt this season. I'll make sure I say this season. I don't want to scare people too much. Nelson Semedo, of course, had a little bit of an injury. It's unknown whether he's going to be back. I've not really seen much on him in regards to him coming back into training. So we may not risk him yet. We may well keep Johnny in there. Keanu Hoover was also training with the team or trying to come back from injury as well. But I think Johnny will probably stick at right wing back. And Pedro Neto, he was back in full training last week. So I'm hoping that he could be fit and available for selection as well. Let's quickly look at my predicted lineup. Like I said, it's going to be very, very difficult to pinpoint an exact team. But the team I've gone with here is Jose Sarr in goal. I've gone with a back three of Kilman, Sace and Cody. But obviously Bolly played against Leeds United. I didn't think he was great in that game. But, you know, we may well see a Kilman, Bolly, Cody back free eventually. I don't know. Left wing back, I would stick with Ryan Ait-Nouri. Right wing back, I think it will be Johnny. Middle two, obviously there's not very many options there at all, are there? I'd probably go with Dendoncker and Matinho. Big chance of Dendoncker to try and cement his place in this team. You know, this is his opportunity now to do so. And the front three of, obviously, again, it's hard. I would love to see Neto start. He may well do so, but I think it might be Hwang, Fabio Silva and Podence. But I hope I can be proved wrong, and I hope we can see Pedro Neto start in there as well. But a couple of injuries, a couple of suspensions, obviously, for Wolves. So we're going into the unknown a little bit, but hopefully we'll find out a little bit more after Bruno Lage's press conference tomorrow. But now we move on to the Aston Villa perspective. I spoke to Ashley Preece, who's the Villa correspondent for Birmingham Live, and these were his thoughts ahead of the game. So guys, now it's time for the Villa perspective. I'm delighted to be alongside Ashley Preece, who's the Aston Villa correspondent for Birmingham Live. Ashley, how's it going, mate?
I'm all right. I'm in the Wolves colours today. I didn't realise, Dave. So I'm on brand. But yeah, I'll cover the Villa. Have done for now. Last 3 years. And I'll be at Molineux on Saturday. I'm expecting a red-hot atmosphere. West Midlands derby always is. 3 o'clock kickoff as well. So it's good to be back. I mean, the international break for me has been pretty desperate. I mean, I've tried to organise interviews and stuff, but no one's been willing to talk. So back in match action on Saturday. And yeah, I mean, Villa coming into that one, hopefully try and kickstart some form again, because they got knocked down a peg against West Ham and then Arsenal. So yeah, Villa a bit of a wounded animal at the moment, mate. And I suspect the Wolves are the same, given the injuries and suspensions you've got as well.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a strange one. Obviously, Jimenez getting that sort of controversial red.
Yeah.
Neves now out until towards the end of the season. We've got a couple of players that are 50-50. We don't know their situations until the press conference, but it's going to be an intriguing game. You know, I know we're, you know, only one place between us. Wolves have got a little bit of a cushion of points, but
yeah,
you know, it's always been fairly close games in the Premier League anyway. But for Wolves fans watching, Ashley, can you give us a very quick summary on Villa's season so far? I know there's obviously been managerial changes and all sorts, but from the fans' point of view, how have they seen the season so far?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take you back quickly. It all swung on the Jack Grealish deal back in the summer. Villa spent 95 million quid on bringing in Danny Ings, Leon Bailey and Emi Buendia. So that 3 players for 1 there. And yeah, Dean Smith tried the new system, 3-5-2, 3 centre-backs that Wolves are familiar with. Didn't really work. Lost 5 on the bounce, got the sack. Purslow, long admirer of Gerrard, got Gerrard in pretty much straight away. Had a big manager bounce to begin with. I think they won 4 out of 6 and played well against the Man Cities and stuff. So Gerrard rejuvenated Villa. Had a bit of a sticky spell. And then most recently, last month, about a month ago, won 3 on the spin. So you're thinking, we're back here. We're looking good as well. And then recently, again, against the bigger teams now, got a bit of a tricky fixture list now. And against West Ham, come short. Against a side we want to overtake. So West Ham knocked us down a peg again. And then before the international break, Arsenal as well, beat us quite comfortably. So these are the teams, similar to Wolves, looking to get past and surpass your West Hams, your Arsenals. I was hoping Tottenham were on the slide, but that doesn't seem to be the case now. So, yeah, I mean, we're chasing the Wolves there. 10 points behind them, got a game in hand. If we win on Saturday, they'll be down to 7. So that's Villa's carrot for the end of the season. Can they finish above the Wolves? Bit of a tough task, if you ask me. But from a Villa's perspective, I'll be really pleased with Bruno Lage. Some of the stuff he says, his press conferences, he's been very good. So Wolves in good hands. It all depends on Wolves now, what they're going to do in the summer, because I think Villa will come on strong. Villa backed by mega rich owners, and it all depends on what Wolves will do. Because if not, I think Villa will jump past them.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I mean, what did you think in regards to the managerial appointment? Was Gerrard just the number one man, or did Villa have anybody else in mind as well?
There was Ralph Hasenhüttl was on the list, the Denmark manager. But, I mean, just given the appointments, 5 days. I think Smith was sacked on the Sunday. I think Gerrard was appointed on the Thursday. You can do your thinking there, so it's pretty quick. Yeah. I think Purslo's had a long relationship with Gerrard from their time at Liverpool, watched him from afar, always been in contact with him. He did really well at Rangers. I know it's people say it's an easy job up there, 2-horse race and all that, but the level of, I mean, the intensity of up there, you got to win every week. I mean, Gerrard relished that pressure. And similar pressure at Villa, really. If you lose a few on the spin, you can get quite creaky down there. So I mean, he's done all right, Gerrard, for me. I think he transformed the way he's played. He's inherited things for his squad. I think he had a really good January window. Philip Coutinho on the pick, Luca Dina, solid signing, Callum Chambers on the cheap, decent signing. So he's done well in January, but like you say, against the bigger teams above them in the league, they fell just short. So they hope to close that gap in the summer. And I think the owners, Nassef Suarez and Wes Edens, will give him, I think, 100 million again. I think they'll go hard at it again. So I'm intrigued to see what Fosun do with Wolves. I really am, because Martinez and stuff like that. Neves, can they keep hold of him? They've been around for a while now. I think Wolves could do with a bit of a revamp.
Yeah, I mean, Gerrard is almost shown what he can do as a manager in regards to his reputation and his pull of player. Like, if somebody had said to you as a Villa fan, at the start of the season or whatever, do you reckon Coutinho will go to Villa? You'd say no chance. And now you got Gerrard there all of a sudden. There were likes of Suarez, for argument's sake, and it may sound mad, but they'll want to join. And if Villa have got the ambition and want to spend the money, it's definitely possible. But Gerrard mentioned, I think it was in one of the post-match interviews about that, trying to bridge that gap. And he mentioned Wolves, he mentioned the West Hams, and saying Villa aren't quite at that level. What do you think they need to do? Do they need to do what you were saying and really invest in the squad and strengthen in certain areas?
I think so. I think this pre-season is massive for him. It'll be Gerrard's first in charge. Like you say, you need to spend money. You need to spend money to keep up with the sides above you, because everyone else will spend money as well this summer. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think they need to invest again. Villa spent nearly 350 million since he got promoted. They're throwing loads of cash at it, but it's that jump now. I mean, Villa survived in the first year. I mean, they finished 11th last season, so they're progressing quite well. I think that jump from mid-table to the top 6-7, the hardest one to do, as Wolves have found out as well. So that's the hardest jump to make, but I think you need to throw some dough at it. That's the bottom line, and I think they'll do that again this summer. I think Gerrard's way of playing been quite good as well. So he wants his personnel, he wants winners in. He's not interested in European gambles and unknown quantities. Yeah. He wants players with real pedigree. And I asked him about Suarez. He didn't rule that one out. He said, we'll have a look at that in the summer. Coutinho, a player he knows well. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, for a Villa fan, Villa's perspective, I think it's building up for a really, really exciting summer. And like you said, I'm intrigued to see what Wolves do as well.
Do you think that the likes of Coutinho, do you think Villa will be able to make that a permanent one in the summer?
I do, yeah, based on the conversation I've had with Gerrard as well. I think at Barcelona for Coutinho, the spotlight was so intense on him. I think he's come to Villa, nice dressing room, more relaxed. And like you say, he's bedded in really well. I think he's big mates with Douglas Luiz, Emi Buendia. There's a nice South American contingent there. And that helps, if you're settled. It's his workplace. If you're settled at work, you have a good player in your hands. And at Barcelona, I think a lot of politics going on there. Didn't really suit him. Had a stint at Bayern Munich, did well. I mean, look, I think Coutinho could walk into a Champions League club tomorrow. So it depends if they come calling. And the stumbling block Villa have got now is the wage demands. I've seen some of the numbers. It's all watering. He's on at Barcelona. So it all depends if Coutinho wants to just take a wage cut and come and play in Villa Park and try and push Villa into Europe, where Wolves were recently as well. So balls in Coutinho's court with it in that sense, Dave, and I'm hoping it gets done.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a huge sign. And I know you mentioned it a couple of times for Wolves as well. Our sort of UEFA financial fair play is now sort of stopped. So a lot of fans are hoping that we're going to see the money being spent again, but we just don't know based on the last couple of windows. But yeah, you're right. I think the way Villa have been spending, and now the likes of West Ham, Leicester could well be up there again.
Exactly.
It's so competitive pushing for Europe. So I think you have got to be quite clever and, try and get the biggest players available. But in terms of Villa, obviously, you mentioned a couple of the big signings that they made last summer. Who's been performing well for you? Who should Wolves be looking out for on Saturday?
Well, there's two picks for player of the season for me. It's Matty Cash at right back. He's been really good this season, Dave. He's really kicked on. I think he's got 3 goals, 3 assists. Basically, they've come this side of the calendar year. Matty Cash has really done well. And the other one's Jacob Ramsey. He had the big start at Molineux for his first Premier League starts in Project Restart last season. And then since then, he's been a revelation this season. Scored in England under 21 duty in the week. And he's really kicking on. So he's only 20. Gerrard's raving about him, Jacob Ramsey. Local lad from just by Barbeacon, just over the Aldridge way. and he's really doing well. So yeah, them two, Ramsey and Matty Cash, they're the ones for me. But obviously, Coutinho, he's been special.
Yeah.
He really has. I mean, Coutinho struggled against Arsenal. I think that Thomas Partey and Zaka in there, they marshaled him quite well. And it was similar against West Ham. They had Declan Rice and Souček who kept him in check. So I'm hoping Coutinho can find the gaps now. We know Neves, and we'll see who's in there with him. But Coutinho will be the one to watch, obviously. But two standouts from Villa this season have been Cash and Jacob Ramsey for sure.
Ramsey's goal for the 21s is fantastic as well. Hit that so sweetly, didn't he? But he does look. I know another Villa fan asked me yesterday, but I think he's got a real potential. And it'll be interesting to see, hopefully for the Villa fans' sake, that they can rise as a club with him rather than him sort of jumping ship or a big club coming in for him too early. But it's great when you've got obviously players of that potential that are able to break in from the academy to the first team as well. But on the flip side of that, Wolves players, again, you've mentioned a few, but anyone that you think that is available for this game that will worry Aston Villa?
Well, I'm a big fan of Max Kilman. I really am. I think he should be in the England setup. I really like watching him this season. Like a Rolls Royce at the back and play. But the biggest threat, I mean, I don't know how fit he is. I really like watching Neto. Really like watching Neto. But obviously he's had some injury troubles as well. So I think it'll be a big plus for you next season for sure. Getting fit in pre-season, he'll be firing on all cylinders. I've got no mistake about that. Neves is a big boost for Villa, not having him there. Likewise, Jimenez, but I think Jimenez hasn't been the same player this season since his injury. I think before that, I think he's one of the best strikers in the league. Yeah, in the air as well, he had everything. But that injury, that head injury, is just taking it out of me a little bit, which has been quite unfortunate. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Kilman, and yeah, Neto. I like Neto a lot, and I'm not sure how fit it will be for a start. I mean, Trincão's been mentioned. He's been decent value this season, Trincão. On the left, I think he'll probably start, won't he, with Podence and probably Fabio Silva up front, will it be? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Neto had obviously came back from his long-term injury, had another little injury.
Yeah.
Back. I think he's back in training. Trincão, to be fair, he a lot of, he divided the Wolves fans, but had a really good cameo against Leeds. But Hwang Hee-chan could play up there as well. So there are definitely options, but I think Fabio Silva is going to be the one. I think he should start or will start through the middle, but I agree. Kilman's been very good. I think there were a lot of disappointed Wolves fans when he wasn't named in the England squad, but I think Southgate's got a bit of a headache there for the remainder of this season anyway, for sure.
Yes.
Actually, if I had to press you, I know it's a very tough question for a prediction for this game. Maybe one from your head and one from your heart. What do you reckon the score is going to be?
I'll go 1-1. I'll go 1-1. Bit of a draw there. Wolves don't tend to score too many goals, do they? They're quite good defensively, Wolves, and I think Villa have late coming off the back of back-to-back defeats against West Ham and Arsenal, going to Molineux, packed out crowd there, big tough place to go. So I'll sit on the fence, I'll get the splinters out my arse on my backside, sorry. And then 1-1. I think I'll probably take it, I don't know. I think I'm expecting a tough one at Molineux.
I think it's good for both sets of fans. They just don't want to lose today. I think we both take a draw. I said a 1-1 as well, to be fair. So I think that's what it is. But Ashley, I really appreciate you jumping on the channel. I'll make sure I leave a link to Ashley's Twitter in the description down below, guys. And all the best for the rest of the season. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
So big thanks once again to Ashley. I'll make sure I leave a link to his socials in the description down below. And my score prediction, I've said it on another podcast. I think my heart says a 2-0 Wolves win. Well, my head probably says a 1-1 draw. I think it's going to be tough. Wolves we're missing a couple of our key players. Villa are a strong side as well. So we'll see how it goes. And, as long as we don't lose again. I can't be dealing with a 3-2 loss last time out at home and then losing to the Villa as well. I don't think I can stand for that. But as always, guys, be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get involved in the Betmate game. Free to join in this week. And then keep your eyes peeled for the match reaction and the fans react after the game. But until then, guys, all the best. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you all very, very soon.